Welcome to Irongeek Cast number 112, Lotion, in honor of Charles. How's everybody doing?
Not too bad.
Oh,
Shalom, shalom, everyone.
shalom. Our favorite Jewish man.
Gecko.
Oh, yes, our favorite Jewish gecko.
Yes.
Yes.
How do you circumcise a gecko?
Oh,
Very carefully.
Well, do most lizards even have penises?
Geckos have penises, I believe.
Okay.
Is it like a proto penis or is it a real penis?
I don't know. What?
Most lizards even have. Sorry, loop back.
Is it actually like a real penis or like a proto penis?
This is why the internet.
I don't know.
well, it's probably made in Japan.
I don't think you can exactly circumcise it, but it does appear that geckos do indeed have a penis, and it's really weird looking.
So I heard on the
a gecko that's giving itself head. That's all right. Let's move on.
It has two. It has two, apparently.
So speaking of circumcision. I was listening to the radio on the way here, and apparently there's a hospital that now has had 30 different orders where the surgery order was for the wrong patient. Over 30, like in the span of this hospital's existence. And the most recent, a gentleman was going in for some abdominal issue, that need to be surgically addressed. And whenever he woke, he had been circumcised.
Yeah, that sounds like a malpractice suit.
Yeah, well, there's worse than that, though. I've heard of some cases where someone went in to had a leg amputated, and they amputated the wrong fucking leg.
Oh, I have heard of that, yeah.
I think the guy even wrote on the leg, not this one.
Yeah, they actually, whenever they're like doing stuff like that, they actually take like permanent marker and like put an X on the leg that should not be taken out, and put like a check or whatever, just to make sure the surgeon, at least most of the time, actually are working on the proper appendage. Man, that would suck. Can you imagine that? Already have one jacked up leg and then they take off the wrong one. So, my week's been going good. Up in the Cleveland area for a couple days. I have a balcony on my apartment or on my hotel. That's nice, especially since we're hitting like 60 degrees. Yeah.
Degrees?
Yeah.
60. Oh, 60 degrees.
Yes. Fahrenheit, not Celsius. Yeah, it's pretty nice. How's your week been, Adrian?
Pretty good. Filing some stuff for the new job. What else am I doing?
Congrats too. Yay. New job.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Taking long walks in the park. Besides that, just relaxing till everything's filed with the new work, and I'll start doing stuff there.
Have you been hiding behind trees or sitting on park benches, staring at people?
Not so much that.
Oh, okay.
I have been shopping for rifles and shit, but
well, that's always fun. Bolt action.
Bolt action free. I'll look into it. I probably actually got rid of a good one when I sold off a lot of my uncle's guns. I should have been more careful about what stuff I put up for sale.
Yeah. And how did you sell those? Did you?
I got an auction house. I probably could have made more money if I sold them individually over a long period of time, but I just they were taking up an entire room in my house.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you saw the video at one point in time.
Oh yeah. And two, it depends on the auction house. There are auction houses that are specifically for kind of the higher value types of items like firearms, rare jewelry, just stuff like that. So, and it all depends on who's on looking to buy that day.
Well, I think the auction house, after they took their cut, I think I got back about 18 grand.
Yeah, and their cut's usually what, about 25%?
Yeah, I don't remember. I think it was less than that, but yeah.
Yeah, I know it's high. But they do also provide a service. So if you're willing to accept that, so be it.
But I also kept a lot of the ones of uncles I really liked.
Yeah, which is always nice.
Kept this really nice TAC 4. It's a 45. It's afterwards. It's just like a.
You kept the carbine?
Was that? Oh, I kept the carbine. Yes. The M1
I gotta
carbine.
wonder how much that's worth.
I have to go look that up. I'm not even sure. I have to look serial number too, depending on who made it. But no, I got this TAC 4 45. It's double stacked, so it holds 13 rounds in the magazine. But operates. I mean, if you're used to operating a normal 1911, it's pretty much the same.
Yeah.
I like it. It's pretty.
That's right. All right.
It's all metal, pretty much, not like a Tupperware gun. So if you want to pistol whip someone, I suppose you could. All right, what do we got in the show notes?
Okay, first up, got the breach report. And Cappy's off slacking tonight, so Cappy won't be on. And hopefully he's watching, just, because I'm calling him a slacker. But first up, on ransomware, we have Locker Goga, maybe is how we're pronouncing it, has hit a couple locations in the U.S. We discussed this last week, where Hydro was hit overseas. And so around to slightly after the same time frame, Locker hit. Hey, Ricky. Locker hit a couple more locations here in the U.S. So they hit Ultran and Hydro, North Hydro, who we went through last week. And then this week, or shortly thereafter, they also hit Hexion and Momentive, who are both, interestingly, controlled by the same investment fund. And so the official day that they were hit was March 12th, according to a leaked email. But yeah, we got all kinds of, and those are it seems incredibly targeted. So most likely came in via phishing. And the most recent one, CEO Jack Boss said the incident caused a global IT outage. And the company's deployed SWAT teams to detain it. I can only imagine what a ransomware SWAT team looks like, knowing what normal SWAT teams look like. Pause for a break, or for a drink. Anybody got any comments on that one? Nope. Okay. Next up, we have Police Federation of England and Wales were hit with ransomware. So the PFEW represent 119,000 police officers across the two nations, with billy clubs. Or what do they call them? Batons? Something like that over there?
Batons. Also, there's a brand name called ASP, which I think is sometimes used generically.
Oh, okay. But on March 9th, they were attacked. And the way they phrased it, the malware is a type of malicious software which seizes and encrypts data. Now, that's called ransomware. So the NCA, the National Crime Agency, is currently investigating, along with the National Cybersecurity Center and Bay Systems. Bay Systems is a larger security organization over in Europe. And they don't have because I was actually looking into them a couple weeks ago. They don't have the entire market share, but man, I'll tell you what, they have a lot of market share in Europe. And as far as I know, I don't think they've named what ransomware family it is, but yep, they got hit. And now to get to some fun ones. ASA servers were hacked to deliver malware. So this is fun. Who'd that happen with a while back? Malwarebytes? No, CCleaner. So the update servers started delivering updates to 2.3 million users. That included a backdoor. Oh wait, no, that was a CCleaner. Let me see, because I know it was.
Yeah, the numbers I heard were nowhere close to that amount that actually got the backdoors uploaded to them.
Yeah, that million one was the CCleaner. I'm trying to look and see. I'm pretty sure this stated how many they were estimating. Okay, so just Kaspersky users, which, as we know, has been dropping over the last year since the U.S. government has banned them.
It's a shame. They do a lot of good work.
Do what?
It's a shame. Kaspersky has done a lot of good work.
I know. On the research side, like, they do put out some really, really good research. I enjoy reading through their research. And like Malwarebytes, Kaspersky, Walmart surprisingly has a good research team. I definitely like some of the research coming out of Walmart's crew.
That is random.
Yeah, it really is, because I couldn't believe it. Whenever I was reading through something, I was like, holy crap, like, this is researched fairly well. And then I'm realizing this is Walmart? What? But they actually
next time we'll get the Chuck E. Cheese research team.
Yeah, they actually do have a dedicated research team, security research team, and they don't put it out as often. You know, it's like a Kaspersky or Malwarebytes or
right.
But whenever they do, it's quality stuff.
Yeah. Then the malware, as far as machines that were infected, that the payload was only executed on a subset of those machines.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, this could have potentially been bad, but it wasn't nearly as bad as it could have been.
Yeah, from what I read, the payload was aimed to execute on machines that had network interfaces of a certain MAC address. So, yeah. I mean, it is obviously not a traditional. It's obviously not a normal criminal actor. It's most likely my guess is a nation state actor. That's my guess.
Yeah, to actually get in and compromise the internal update servers, have the package written correctly to be able to function through the update and send out and be applied locally. You know, there are, and to get it, and you have to wonder, how long were they within those systems to be able to craft that correctly? You know?
If look, well, we have heard no word from ASA saying that they have conclusively identified every single means by which they had gotten into the company and have closed them off.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything from ASA saying they know how they got in. I've seen ASA say we've patched it, you know, type of thing, but not anything on, hey, you know, they were actually on your server within your environment, and they were there long enough to figure out how your software deployment fully works and write the package appropriate for it. Like, yeah, we haven't seen anything like that.
Yeah, I think it's probably a very good bet that they are still in there.
Yes. And if they're not there, there's somewhere laterally from there where they could potentially get back.
Yeah.
I'm not going to hang out on the peak of the mountain all day long. Who in the freak is that? Hey, we have Raul.
It's Raul. I'm sorry, I was taking a nap.
Hello, Raul.
Hey, how are you?
I just saw
good.
Picture popped up. Was like, whoa.
I sent him the invite. He asked to be on earlier, so I figured, what the hell?
Nice. And Jack, yes, I did get a haircut. I'm not doing the hippie thing anymore, at least for another 6 to 8 months. Thank you for noticing. But But yeah, I mean, because that really is impressive. I'm probably repeating myself, but to get the full scale from intrusion into a software update server, getting the appropriate package created, you know, even the nature of building the package, deploying the package that deploys and is installed appropriately. I mean, we have multiple pieces and parts, and one person or one small group rarely to never would have that skill set. You know.
Well, I mean, it's pretty safe to assume that they got the signing key and probably did a lot of testing locally in their infrastructure before they got something that worked and then used on Ace's production.
Yeah, which again, on that point, makes me say, yeah, they were probably on that system or systems for months, at minimum weeks, and potentially months. You know, just getting that signing key, getting the appropriate certification, and so all the checksums come back good. We're happy. Yeah, install the malware.
Well, from my understanding, does it say the specifics of how it happened? Like, did they modify an existing like update that was planning on going out?
I didn't see anything that went that in depth. There may be a write-up somewhere.
Because that would make a little bit more sense, as you know, an update that was not pre-planned might be a little bit more noticeable from ASUS standpoint.
Yeah, could be. But two, whenever you have a completed package, you know, with most software deployment systems that I've used in the past, a completed package is going to be a bundled, you know, almost like taking a ton of files and throw them into a zip file. You know, it's kind of how the packaging works. Mm-hmm. And yeah, if you had something existing, but you'd also have to be able to decompile that, take that back to, you know, source almost, and that'd definitely be an easier way to do it. If you were able to do it directly on that server, that'd make it even easier. So yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's what we do constantly. Like, how many things do you do start to finish while never looking at a previous example?
It's just easiest to follow a previous example if you don't really know what to do.
Yeah, or if you've done it 100 times even. If you already have something, I know I can take this one that was already there. I already did all this other stuff. I can just replace 2 or 3 things, and it'll work for this new thing.
Right.
You know, just reuse code constantly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Process, procedures, fun.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the next one here. We got Lazarus rises in Israel with attempted hack of defense company, researchers say. And some lovely soul put on here, why would he do that? Why would he do that? Israel is a nice guy. That's right. Israel is a nice guy. So Lazarus, North Korea, if anybody's not aware. Normally just Lazarus Group or Lazarus. And speaking of Lazarus, you know, they are putting attribution on this one to Lazarus. I'm thinking about getting a shirt made that said, I'm the best at attribution. You know, on the front and on the back, throw on there, prove me wrong. Just a thought.
No, I thought you were gonna. I thought you were gonna just put like a. That's actually better than I was thinking. I was thinking just put a Norse logo on there.
I mean, because you know, we have these maybe 10 companies primarily who do and try to say get a lot of attribution and attribute all these hacks and everything that occurs, and who follows up on it, who validates it. Very few to know.
We have to take their word at face value, and considering various governmental entities make public statements saying attribution is hard, very hard.
Yeah.
For people, and they typically have much more access and visibility that most companies would not have.
Yeah.
I'm usually skeptical of most claims of attribution. I've seen some write-ups of attribution that were very convincing, like when the attacker did very shitty configuration and left their original systems. I forget a specific example, but generically, like, use any of the tools in Kali Linux.
Yeah.
You're going to find their name is typically going to be embedded somewhere in their scanning payload. Use GoBuster. The user agent it says GoBuster. You use Nmap for it's going to say it.
Yeah.
So it was something like that. In that kind of case, yeah, I can reasonably believe that this hack came from this IP address in China because they were that stupid in configuring it. But that's not every hack. I don't even think I doubt it's the majority.
Yeah. That are, like in this case, targeting an Israeli defense company.
That does not seem very safe for one's well-being.
Yeah. So, apparently they make products used in military and aerospace. Who was it? China in the last 2 months was attributed for the Navy hacking, and I think Australian Parliament, but I think they hit one of the Navy. Was it a warship or something like that? Submarine. But yeah, we definitely have. Anytime you're talking offense, defense, they definitely like trying to dig in, whoever it is, stateside, and dig into that information. And they put something stupid in here. I don't know who this Israeli person was. Eyal Sela, head of threat intelligence at Clear Sky, said, "We cannot be sure what the objective of the attackers was." It's a defense company. We want to get plans. Even better if we could embed some malware. If you had custom code that you put into any of your products, if we can embed some malware in there, that would be amazing. But yeah. And they're saying it's Lazarus with medium confidence. Fun. Any more thoughts on that one? Nope. Good. Last one for Breach Report. We have, and I expect probably everybody heard about this one. Facebook stored hundreds of millions of user passwords in plain text for years. And so they weren't publicly accessible, but they were accessible by, they're saying, thousands of Facebook employees. That's an issue.
Yeah. That I really don't know what more is to be said there. That is an issue.
Yeah,
with a capital I.
Yeah. How many times can Facebook go before Congress and all this other crap? And now we got, okay, so you're telling me thousands of Facebook employees had, direct shadow access to just about anybody's account, it sounds like. Hundreds of millions. How many Facebook?
Well, by design, they have access to a lot of their accounts. Right? The question is not that they had access to their accounts, but the passwords, which would likely be reusable elsewhere.
Well, yeah, but even at very minimum, just to get on as a shadow account. And then, yes, once you expand that out, yeah, where have you reused that password elsewhere?
And I guess access to the password would allow them to be able to impersonate a user, whereas I would hope internal actions against people's accounts in Facebook would be logged if it's done by a Facebook staffer.
Yeah. And, if they were going to do something like data mining, say, against the passwords, okay, so obfuscate the password, if the first, if the first X amount of characters are letters, replace the letters, do something like that, not,
I think it's one of those things where maybe it should be hands off from data mining.
I'm thinking of from a hacker cracker mindset. So yeah.
Oh well, yeah. In terms of the public trust kind of thing, if they are to data mine someone else's password dump, go for it, go nuts. But people give you their passwords. Maybe you don't betray that trust intentionally.
Yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it?
It would be. I'm starting to forget what that feels like. It's been so long, so very long.
Yeah,
I don't want to see them serve up ads based on my password.
Yeah, Charles. We know Charles. What was your password again? I heart Lotion.
I mean, you got it in a roundabout way.
Oh wait, with the exclamation point at the end.
Of course. I have complexity. Yeah. Come on.
Yeah, I love it. There is one thing here. Facebook source said the investigation so far indicates between 200 million and 600 million Facebook users have had their account passwords stored in plain text and searchable. And see, here's the fun part: and searchable by more than 20,000 Facebook employees.
So, yeah. How many employees work for Facebook?
I don't know. Maybe 80,000 to 100,000.
My understanding is like 80,000-ish people work for Google. And so, I don't know, does Facebook have similar numbers?
I figure. I mean, but either way, you're still talking at least probably 20 to 25% of their population, if not more.
Oh yeah, it's an enormous quantity.
I mean, one out of 4 people working there had access to
at least.
We're not even talking like a file that just contained them. We're talking database, indexed, and searchable.
Fun times. Gosh.
Yeah, it's mind-boggling. Like clear text. It'd be interesting if Facebook required two-factor. Required.
They would lose a lot of user interaction by a lot of people just saying "fuck it." Or a lot of less tech-savvy users not knowing how to log in.
Yeah, but would they be potentially willing to take that risk?
God no.
The understanding they would retain and be able to show that they are taking security seriously.
The financial risk is far too big. That's suicide. No, I'm exaggerating a bit, but that's no.
Or like on your phone, if you have Facebook on your phone, you don't have to log into that. It's persistent, stays logged on, whatever. I have other applications that require a PIN number, So even though it's storing the data there, I still have to authenticate, kind of like a secondary authentication. Yeah.
Okay, we have people who screw up one-factor authentication. Adding a second factor is going to be rocket science for a lot of people.
I mean, I got not wanting to do multi-factor back whenever it was RSA, and that was about it, and it cost money, and it was stupid. But we have so many, Google Authenticator and all these others now.
I agree with that. No question. I agree 100%.
Yeah.
I just think the majority of Facebook's users are on the lower end of the tech savvy. as in, or
Yeah.
tech competent.
Yeah, but they had to learn how to use Facebook. This would just be like 1/1000th of that learning curve.
One would hope.
I mean, I would think.
I'm not as optimistic. I see some of the crap like grandmother shared on there.
Oh, that was Raul. Oh, I thought that was Charles earlier. Your voice sounded very similar because I wasn't looking at the screen.
Oh, so we have
maybe it's a
multiple
different way.
rednecks here?
Yeah, because Charles kind of has a little deeper. I won't say deep. I don't know. Just sounds similar.
Fair enough.
I was thinking if Charles had a decently different mic, I could make the mistake. And if he spoke a little bit quicker.
Could be. Sometimes he does.
Yeah, but he usually speaks a little bit slower.
But does he put the lotion on his skin, or else he gets the hose again?
Someone was going to say it, man. Someone was going to say it.
I threatened Adrian that that's what I was going to actually make the title of tonight.
I think it was more like his daughter getting the lotion all over the floor or something.
Yes.
That's a cute clip, though. That was a cute clip.
Yes.
It would have been nice if I saw that. I know I've been out for a while.
Check my Twitter and Cappy's Twitter from last Wednesday night. And
That would involve. All right. I've been avoiding Twitter for a while.
I can understand that. It is kind of a cesspool at times.
Yes.
I've had one heartbreak too many from Twitter. I need a longer break.
At times,
There are good
time.
accounts. There are good accounts on there. Accounts that post a picture of bunnies and geckos and kitties. Those are good accounts.
Emily Willis's account's pretty good.
Who?
Porn actress Emily Willis.
Oh. Hence why I don't know.
Hey, I'm still single, so, you know.
Yeah. And Alex, we don't know. We know it was between 2 to 600 million, and Jack, 2 to 600 million users. We'd have to. I don't know honestly how many total Facebook users there are. I'm assuming there's probably a billion plus. But,
they're reportedly over 1 billion.
Okay. But we're still talking, what is that? 20% to maybe up to 60%.
I think the last numbers I heard are on 1.1 or 1.2 billion.
Okay.
So I would think that if it's up to 600 million passwords, and when you're going into numbers like that, you got to wonder,
and
does
two,
that
we don't
represent
know if that's current passwords or if that included past passwords. Past passwords.
Well, if it's logging, it must have been a while or shortly after a person entered it in.
Yeah, let me look at it again. I think it said they were able to find a password or passwords that dated back to like 2012. So
I really got to wonder if those numbers they found. At one point, I'm a little curious. How can they not know? Why between 200 million and 600 million? That seems very odd.
Yeah, and that makes me kind of wonder if the passwords if it may have actually been some of the user's historical passwords and not just the current one. So if they did do a password change or whatnot, if it included both.
Yeah, and you also have to wonder where they tied the usernames, because I'm starting to think they may have been, not just a password standalone. Because let's face it, a lot of passwords are similar. How many people use the password? Granted,
Yeah.
I don't know what Facebook's minimum password requirements are because I don't use it, but
Yeah.
there's got to be an enormous amount of overlap of identical passwords in the upper end.
Yeah, and I did see, I think it was in this article Facebook had a statement in regard to it, and it was something about they're going to be hashing and salting everything. It's
Going to be?
shit. but for like the accounts that were affected. But there was a written statement Facebook provided to Krebs, said company expects to notify hundreds of millions of Facebook Lite users, tens of millions of other Facebook users, and tens of thousands of Instagram users. So it's not even just select down to one of the brands. I mean, it's probably less.
Probably the same backend system.
Yeah, they're sending all to the same backend systems.
So I have to wonder what this logging represented. Was it a several-day span? Was it a logging that's been going on for years?
It seems like it's been going on for years. I mean, if it was, I mean, because they specified it was searchable. Like, that's
right, but it could just mean, that could just be the system that was logging it that just had that. For all you know, maybe it was an obscure part of their ticket management system.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, I cannot pronounce your name. Piotr. Piotr. He said that's probably because of failure in the implementation that occurred. If that was the case, I would have understood it more if it was just Facebook or just Facebook Lite or just Instagram. I mean, we're talking passwords this are contained within this database of all the separate systems. And yeah, I get
they're tied together.
That system, probably all the different Facebook and Instagram, probably all subset like feedback into that. But that's still a horrible, horrible security flaw.
Well, I mean, if it's integrated system, that's by design.
Yeah, but yeah, man, I have so many issues with this.
Well, that's what you get when you have a company that size that acquires other companies with integration. It's going to end up using the same infrastructure at some point.
Yeah, but like Instagram, I get that acquisition. Facebook Lite came natively from Facebook, though, right? Like that wasn't somebody tying into APIs or nothing, was it? And then they purchased them.
I don't know.
I mean, and even like generalized regular Facebook was involved too, and like with that, yeah, I'd get that rationality if it was occurring with only Instagram or only, yeah, this.
No, I mean, it just says where in the stack, where in their authentication stack it happened.
And then became searchable by 20,000.
That said, I do have to wonder, got to wonder, maybe this is a reflection of their active users. Maybe they only have 600,000 active users as opposed to the billion or 1.2 billion that, of users or accounts that they have reported in the past.
Yeah. And, yeah. And how many of those are duplicates? Half the people I know have 2 or 3 accounts. So whenever one gets blasted away and they get thrown in Facebook jail, and they can just switch over to the second and third one and still be good to go.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, that is an interesting thought. I wonder if they may have tried to use this to find duplicate accounts by individual accounts using the same passwords.
It's been done in the past. Well, I have read of a database dump analysis in the passwords where some extremely obscure it was an extremely obscure long password was like number 7 on the top 10 passwords, and the answer was it was almost certainly a bot. So it was just every single account same password.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Jack, everybody loves that account. That's the best named account ever. Peter Longstrokes.
I still need to get like a register Bobby Tables account.
Yes. Okay, that's all we had on the breach. Didn't have anything this week. I'm sure there was some vulnerable stuff, Facebook, but you know, I went ahead and threw Facebook into a breach report because that is wholeheartedly a breach. So we do have some other stuff on here. If you guys have any other things you want to talk about before we get to other stuff, how about it?
I haven't checked the schedule yet, but did you put the whole Europe copyright thing on there?
Yes. I didn't
Okay.
specify it like that because that's not fun. I threw it on there as meme banning. That they're banning.
It's going to be far more than just memes. I do not envy people in Europe, and I do not envy businesses that try to compete with Google anymore.
Yeah, that's one of the problems with all sorts of regulations is sometimes large corporations can eat it, but startups can't.
Yeah, and this is large corporations are going to hurt big time from it, but they'll survive. YouTube will survive in a crippled, horrible state. Facebook will survive I don't know how, but they'll survive. There's not really going to be any kind of competitor who's going to beat them, or even attempt to go up against them in any capacity in the next decade in the EU.
I'm just really looking forward to, you know, like a new, really good quality meme black market. You know,
I have to admit,
the European underground is full of memes.
Talk to me.
Oh, look, Charles.
hey, Charles.
Oh, yeah. We got the same spirit. Oh, yeah.
Yes. Great minds think alike.
See?
What's up?
I saw the link at the top of the show notes. Are those shirts still available to order?
No, we should go ahead and take that down. That was a limited run. I think it was about 2 weeks ago that sales ended.
Okay, don't take it down.
Well, I'm just
real quick, Alex, the show notes, if you look to the lower left of YouTube here, you'll see Adrian Crenshaw with the Irongeek logo. Underneath that is show notes, docs.google. Click on that. You can see the show notes that we're going through.
and we rock.
And yes, and roll.
Yeah. So how's everyone's week been so far? How's everybody doing? Everybody feeling all right?
Oh, our week, where I went through this, all of our weeks were #blessed.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah,
I'm doing great.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man. I love it. Yeah, today was an awesome day for myself, for moi. Had a good time today, as usual. And you know, just kind of did some more stuff with SecBSD. I still got some more stuff I got to port over. Yeah, OpenVAS is giving me a little heartburn a little bit.
On BSD. Yeah.
Because I'm trying to compile OpenVAS 9 on OpenBSD and then create a port package for it. Well, on SecBSD is based off of OpenBSD. We create a package port for it for SecBSD. And then because we're trying to have a release by August.
Who's we? Oh, your company or?
Oh no! This is open source. It's going to be.
Open so you're working with the OpenBSD community? Or
no, they're called Dark Intelligence Agency. The Dark Intelligence Crew. I don't know what the other members look like, so I don't know.
Or the Dark Intelligence Crew.
But no, we're because we wanted to give the BSD community, especially people who are pen testers and security folks that love BSD, and this gives them an option to keep their BSD, have fun with their BSD selves, but still be able to do like their pen testing engagements and everything else. So we're just porting over. We're not porting over as many tools as like Kali has, because with Kali, and of course, no knock against Kali.
Yeah,
but Kali has so many tools that do the same thing. Yeah. And we're not going to have it like that. The default desktop that we decided on with XFCE4 will be the default desktop. It won't be GNOME, won't be KDE.
Oh, I got no love. Come on.
Too bloated. We want it lightweight, and then again from there, and then you get the option. You can put Fluxbox or whatever. If you want to put KDE, I mean, you can have at it. Email the mailing list and be like, "Hey, I'd like to see a KDE option." Okay, cool. We'll add that to the ports.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're just starting out small because it's only 7 of us working on it. No, 5. Excuse me. It's only 5 people doing this.
So you are going to try to make a ongoing supported distro?
Yes.
Woo! Have fun.
Yeah. So this is the early stages. So I put together the mailing list. They put somebody else is working on the website, maintaining it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just put it in. We got our own email hosting, so we're using Squirrel Mail for email.
Squirrel Mail.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool. The problem is and I had the discussion. I got to figure out the wireless Ethos chipset with OpenBSD. They were teasing me because they were like, "Well, why would you need that?" And I said, "Well, there are wireless hackers out there that like wireless, so we got."
What? You're kidding?
I've got good support for any of the SD cards yet.
Not yet. Not yet. Even FreeBSD has issue because even if with my FreeBSD box at home, I'm wired in, and what I'm doing, I'm using WDS because the way my place is, it's like the way they got the structure. The internet connection fits on one side. So what I did, I bought 2 wireless routers using WDS bridge, and I just connect to the other router through, of course, Ethernet. But I'm just using the WDS bridge to have the internet across everywhere. So, yeah, it's not that complicated, but it gets the job done. So now, what I'm doing now, I'm actually backing up my entire BSD box over the network. Once that completes, because I have.
You have local NAS?
Huh?
Do you have a local NAS?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have a cheap free NAS that I'm running right now. It's an old version of free NAS that I built a long time ago. And so it's backing up to that. So what I'm doing, once I have all that stuff back up, because I don't want to lose my Charles in Charge, Laverne and Shirley episodes. So
hey, you need that shirt. You need Charles in Charge on the front, Laverne and Shirley on the back.
Hey, maybe.
Yeah. I like
that. But I'm backing everything up. And once it's all backed up, I'm going to take because I have 1 terabyte SSD drive in here.
Yeah.
I'm going to install FreeBSD on the SSD drive. I'm going to take the 2 slower drives, they're both 4 terabytes, mirror those with ZFS, and that'll be where all my files and stuff are stored. And I have another 256 SSD drive will be only for VMs.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's it. This box will be.
Rock.
And I have 64 gigs of RAM in here already. So.
That sounds rough.
Hardcore, man.
Hey, what are you eating?
Pho.
Is it spicy?
Yeah.
Okay, I saw you dabbing at your forehead earlier and just had to.
Yeah, it's nice and spicy. Spicy food is a great way to exfoliate.
Hey, you can do the same thing with exercise and some sweat too.
Exfoliating, lotion, everything. I get all my skincare tips from Charles.
Hey, I actually went to the gym today too. So
I should have.
I don't care what his name is.
I did shoulders and arms. So my arms are on fire.
I keep skipping workouts and eating too much. I'm becoming more like aluminum geek than Irongeek.
Well, Irongeek. No, just start. Okay. What do you got going on tomorrow? Make it a plan. Even if you don't lift weights, hop on the treadmill.
Yeah, I did do a 2.5 mile walk today, but
good. That's a start.
Yeah, 2.5 miles. That's what, about 5,000 steps, I think.
Something like that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
For a guy my size, it's over 500 calories, so I think.
See, there you go.
It's a start though. And then tomorrow, do the same thing, but add something else to it. Maybe lift weights or something.
Yeah, I need to hit the gym.
Or just do the same thing, but just keep doing it.
That too.
I mean, the most important thing is just you keep doing it. If you 2.5 miles, that's great. 500 calories in a day, that's amazing.
Yes.
But you're going to need to do it more than once a week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every day, baby. Every day. Woo!
Yeah, if you can.
Yeah, like
at least 4 days a week. At least 4 days a week.
Yeah. Like I started hitting the elliptical again, and I've been, somewhat sedentary for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So, my cardiovascular just was not up there.
Mm-hmm.
And so I said, screw it. I want to get into a habit, want to get into a routine. So I started off, I was like, my first session I did months ago was 5 minutes. I was like, every day that I hit the elliptical, I'm going to increase it 1 minute more.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm up to 30 minutes, and I do it a couple times a week now. But I also had to kind of get my muscles reconditioned, reoriented to, do an extended cardio, lungs, all that fun stuff. And now I do 30 minutes a couple times a week. I'm not going to do any marathons, but at least it keeps me in a decent shape.
Well, what I've been doing for the last couple of days, I've been doing 2-a-days. So I get up,
all wrapped up in trash bags.
No. So I'll get up at 6 o'clock. I'll get up at 6, start stirring around. I'll do my morning videos. And then once the morning video's done, then I go over to the gym. That's first session. Then I'll start working. And then at 3:30, I'll stop and I'll go to the gym again. That's 2-a-days, my second session.
Okay.
And then I'll just I'm just have fun. But I'm already naturally energetic. So I'm just putting that naturally energetic. Like today, I did wind sprints. So went to the gym, lift weights. That was the first session. Second session, wind sprints outside. It was nice. Shorts, t-shirt, wind sprints across. It has this it was like a big park with a huge soccer field. So I did wind sprints across that.
So when you say wind sprints, are you also meaning that you
Sprinting.
put the gear on and you had the parachute on?
No, sprinting, like running.
Oh, okay.
Like it's football, running from one end of the field to the other. So
okay.
I'm taking it back to how I used to train for football. So that was the thing before spring camp, before summer camp. I would spend at least a month before summer camp. That's all I would do was just straight running conditioning. I hated running in football. I hated it running in practice. Always hated it. So what I would do, I'd do a month. So by the time they're doing sprints, I'm already used to it and I'm not out of breath at practice.
Yeah.
So that's the worst thing in the world, to be out of breath. You got that heavy equipment on. Because that's an extra 10 pounds added to your weight you're running around with out there.
Yep.
So you don't want that. So I used to do that, and that helped me out a lot. And plus, again, naturally energetic. So yeah. They're like, oh my God.
Oh.
Yep, what you see here, this is just the high school Charles, just a little older.
Oh, did you find out who to volunteer with for B-Sides Charm?
No, I haven't.
I'm not sure who that. I would contact their Twitter.
Okay.
Just tell them you've done video for me before, and
yeah, I'll do that. I'll make sure I get that done this week.
Yeah, get that wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Huh?
Get that wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Mm-hmm. Like somebody hugged me. I want to help with videos. Well, yeah. But yeah,
it's good to have people. Thanks, man. It helps to have people who are already used to the equipment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Dude, like I said, I'll help you out, and DerbyCon, we're gonna rock out one final time, baby.
Yep.
We gonna go. I already booked my room. Room's already booked. I'm not even waiting on the discount, man. We going out one final time. Woo! Woo! Yep.
Oh shit! I haven't even thought about booking a room yet.
Yeah, man. I'm there. The Marriott.
That's because you've been avoiding Twitter.
Well, yes.
Well, he has a good reason.
Also, it's also I had a lot of expenses recently, and it's like, I've not even booked my hotel for Vegas yet.
I mean, well,
Actually, yes,
for-
actually, yes, I have. My bad. I've not booked a flight for Vegas yet.
You going to Black Hat?
No.
DEF CON.
DEFCON's a ways off, man. I usually book my flight out about a month ahead.
Yeah, but I don't know when the ideal time is. I just know that the prices when you get that close tend to be a little higher.
Yeah,
What?
like $120 instead of 85. It's Vegas.
Yes, this is true. Except it's going to be a little bit more than 100 something. More, it's more like 250, 300. No, round trip's more like 400ish.
I do like that Southwest flies direct.
Oh yes, I love Southwest, and not everyone does, but I really liked it.
They're fine with me. I mean, I get 2 checked bags, you know.
What in the world? What is
But
that?
it's not from you? I thought it was from you, Charles.
No, that's not me.
Charles, if I don't know.
Who else is going to make a Mega Man sound on screen?
No, I kid you not. That was me.
I'm reposting over in the side chat the thing that Darren threw up.
Oh, see? Look at that. Liz, I'm not that good, man. I do got my little
Sorry, Darren, I just saw that. That's awesome.
I do have my little collectibles though. My Dr. Wily and Mega Man.
That's right.
Yeah. My wife thinks I'm having a midlife crisis.
I mean, that's every day when you wake up, but
I don't know.
at least according to us.
I probably got
is that happy.
I can give you. I probably have like 8 stuffed animals within reach of me.
I love your cheer bear.
Oh yeah, Mama made that for me.
Just order both of them.
No, I have a well, I have a special T-shirt coming along. It's well, a couple of them. I have the Smurfs. I have a Smurf T-shirt coming, and I have Oracle from He-Man T-shirt coming.
Oracle? I don't remember.
Oracle.
Oracle.
The little wizard. Oracle, the little wizard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I have that.
Did they have a toy of him?
Yeah, they did. I had the toy. It's somewhere in the attic in South Carolina.
See, I got mostly G.I. Joes and Transformers. I never really got huge into He-Man.
So I was huge into He-Man and Thundercats.
Yeah.
I had Silverhawks.
What was Silverhawks?
Silverhawks were the cartoon. They were like birds, but they were mechanical birds. They were human. So Silverhawks.
I never
if you look up Silverhawks, they were cool toys. Yeah. So I had a few of those. I had Bionic 6. Cause see, the way it was like and I was telling my friend this, the way I accumulated a lot of these different toys, like as a kid growing up, my parents, like every Saturday we get to go to it was a place called Child World. It was kind of knockoff. Remember KB Toy Store and stuff like that? So Child World was just like that. But we go to Child World. So every Saturday we got to pick out one toy. Every Saturday. So that's why I said I'd pick out a G.I. Joe or a Ninja Turtle. Hush, not privileged. I'm thankful.
2 toys a year? Damn.
2 toys a year? No, this is every Saturday. Every Saturday. Huh?
Do you remember Visionaries?
Yes.
It was kind of cool because they had the gimmick of the hologram, and there wasn't a whole lot of holograms back then. It became a really big, fad for a bit.
Remember the what was it? It was like a laser tag thing. That you could play. You put on the equipment and you shoot, and you zap them, and they had a little thing on the chest.
Captain something.
Yeah, I had that toy, but I never really got use out of it because I had nobody to play with.
Captain Power. There was a lady who did a talk that was really cool at one of the Freakniks on the Captain Power and the toys and all that.
Okay.
Yeah, I never.
What about Voltron?
Oh, I have Voltron right there.
Oh, when I was at my parents' house the last time, I got my Voltron stuff and my Transformers. And,
Sweet.
And GoBots. Don't forget the
GoBots were classics. Leader 1.
Yeah. But on the Voltron side, I'd never I don't remember this, but I actually have 2 full Voltron.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
original. And like we're kids. Well, actually, it was my brother got a hold of them, and they bust the glass off at the top. The person's supposed to sit. So I have one Voltron that's near perfect, and the other one's that's like all the glass is broke off of half of them. Stickers are torn off, but yeah, I actually do have 2 of them now.
Yeah, man. It's just like I said, I like collecting this stuff, and plus it's therapeutic because it takes you back to like I said, it takes you back to a time where stuff was just simple.
Yeah.
And I just, it just takes me back to that place. But even I was looking at some cool stuff today with like I said, the 80s t-shirt. I'm huge into like the old school cartoons, so that'd probably be my wear for the summer. And that and Security Con t-shirts.
There you go.
And that's it. That's all I'll be rocking this summer. Like
I'm glad to hear this year you will be wearing clothes. That's a step up.
Yeah, I'm growing.
Yeah,
I'm growing. I like clothes. They make me feel good, and they make me happy. And I like being happy. Oh, I love being happy.
Happy.
Oh yeah, but again, yeah, just all about fun this year. Having fun at cons. Like I said, B-Sides Charm, and whoever's listening on the cast. If you haven't seen B-Sides Charm yet, haven't been to B-Sides Charm, you're doing yourself a disservice. Please head out to B-Sides Charm. Awesome con. Also, I won't be going to DEF CON this year just because it's expensive from doing B-Sides Charm, and I'll be missing FotCon this year because I have to go to another convention in Chicago for my JOB at the moment.
Hey Charles, maybe your company will need an SE at Black Hat.
I hope so. That would be cool.
See?
Yeah. That's kind of like the SE convention.
Yeah.
They haven't said yet. But I hope so. That would be cool.
Hey, that's how I'm getting my ticket.
At that point, when in Rome.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's another vendor to DEF CON? Black Hat.
Yeah.
We're not there yet at DEF CON.
I pass on the RSA, so yeah.
Why'd you like going to RSA?
Oh, come on. Like, at least Black Hat, there are like actual technical talks. Yeah. RSA, I swear, you're never going to see nothing but a salesman up there.
Oh yeah, I know. It's sales heaven.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
It's usually the same thing at Black Hat.
Yeah, but
it's not as bad.
No, okay, I can agree with that.
And two, Black Hat and DEF CON at the same time. So at least me and like 80% of my friends are all in the same city at the same time. So.
All right, I thought it was B-Sides. It's B-Sides at Black Hat at the same time.
Do any other trusted sector people go to RSAs, or are they just
higher? Yeah, like the higher level guys. Like most of the people will go to Black Hat, and some will be at DEF CON. And yeah,
I might go to Charm. I've never been to Charm before. So yeah.
Yeah, why not? It's in the area.
Yes, it is.
Any of y'all coming out to Hackers on a Farm? I can't remember when exactly Mary plans on having it this year.
Mary mentioned that because of her job, she's changing when it'll be. I don't think she's actually released a date yet.
Okay.
Yeah, last time I heard, she was saying like July 4th, which if that's the case, I won't be there. So
yeah, 4th of July would be tough for me.
Yeah. So we'll see what the final date is. I don't think it's set in stone yet. So.
She should try for later in the year when it's a little cooler,
Yeah.
Just saying.
Definitely not going on another death march with her. I still have sugar bites on my legs. Little scars on my legs from where something got a hold of me and fucked me up.
Yeah, I don't think that's chiggers, man.
That was that raccoon that you were all happy about that night.
Oh, maybe what is the other thing? There's another thing that's a parasite that I got some. I killed them all off, but yeah, something tore into my legs pretty bad.
Yeah, Chigger is not that big.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, but chiggers are annoying though because they embed themselves under your skin, and if you scratch them, they release the toxin that makes it's more. I mean, and you literally have to not scratch them for them to finally die off.
Well, now I have some like little bumps from the stuff that I need to figure out a way to get rid of. I thought about taking an ice cube and some salt and like burning them off, but I don't know.
Sorry, wait. You have bumps nearly a year later?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe you should see a doctor about that.
Yeah.
Chiggers are not a thing that lasts that long.
Yeah, bro.
Well, I mean, they're not there anymore, but the little damage they caused is.
The bumps.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you can see a doctor. Like, if it's really concerned, see a doctor.
Did you scratch them profusely to the point they were like bleeding or anything?
The little few, yeah.
Yeah. And are those the ones where there's still like marks and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
maybe the scars then.
Yeah.
Meh. If it's really concerned, a doctor. I'm hesitant to give too much medical advice as over live stream.
Yeah, I gotcha. Well, wait, come on, ice cubes and salt. That'll take them off.
Yeah. I mean,
sure, why not?
If nothing else, you could always go down the raccoon STD trail.
Anti-raccoon trend?
The raccoon STD trail.
Ooh.
Raccoons regularly have problems with STDs?
I don't know.
I mean, they eat trash. I'm pretty sure that's every D's.
Okay, and to change topic. So, what's everybody think about Jesse Smollett?
He's a liar.
I think he is the best PR people in the world.
He got off because he's rich and apparently politically connected. I'm assuming rich. I'm not sure how rich he is, but he's an actor. I usually assume they have a decent amount of money.
He's a celebrity. So
he's got ties to Obama family and also Kamala Harris. And apparently some aide of the Obama family or something contacted the prosecutor. I don't know all the details about that. But there's some shaky shit going on there.
That seems to be a bit of hearsay, but yeah. I don't know. What all I know is from what I'm seeing, even the surprisingly enough, the liberals and progressives, at least some of them, are actually kind of pissed off as well. They're comparing, Smollett giving off to a number of other less than wholesome activities the same police department does on a regular basis.
Less than wholesome?
Yes.
Well, police officer in this case, my sense the prosecutor's office, the police are pissed off about it too. Because the black chief of police was up there pissed about it, and the Democratic mayor was up there pissed about it.
And which that alone is amazing. The mayor getting pissed off about it. But you know who's most pissed off about it, though, right? R. Kelly.
You know what? I can't.
He's
killing me with this.
Pissed on for R. Kelly.
Well, the problem's going to be that this shows that it can be weaponized, essentially, these false allegations, especially if he doesn't have to pay for it.
Yeah.
But he paid $10,000 bail, and he's going to let the city keep that. $10,000 for, and he was facing up to what, like 20 years in jail?
I was going to say $10,000 to avoid one felony is a hell of a deal, actually.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't. This.
And then
I'm not sure how much of a precedent this sets because let's face it, rich people have gotten off of horrible shit before.
Yeah, they have.
And then he and his family came out and had the audacity to say, "We hope that the perpetrators will be brought to justice." Well, they can't be now. You just paid $10,000, got out of it, bastard! Damn it!
Oh my gosh.
Good night. Maybe the prosecutor's office was like, well, we already got R. Kelly. We already got a high-profile one. Screw it.
On the bright side, Jesse did give some immigrants jobs.
Stop.
He did. That's right.
Well, he might not be out of the woods yet. There's still the federal government can still press charges if there's an applicable federal law, and there's a rumor that's going to happen.
Yeah.
What kind of federal law would he have violated, though?
Well, falsely reporting a hate crime, which is a federal crime.
Oh. Yeah.
But if he falsely reports it to a state police, it's a federal crime?
Well, that's a great question because there is state hate crime statutes, but the original, the OG hate crime statute is a federal one.
Right.
It depends on if he spoke to federal agents. I mean, if he gave a false statement to a federal agent, oh yeah, he's dead to rights. I mean, it doesn't matter. I don't know who he spoke to, but it's entirely possible.
At the same time, if it gets federal, then in the news it will start being called political. And let's face it, Smollett did stupid shit that, on his own right. There's no need for political nudging for him to be seen as guilty. And if anything, if Trump administration gets involved, the Democrats start seeing him as more innocent, which really would hate that. Hate the case.
I don't see the Trump administration doing this. The Democrats are consistently screwing themselves like bad right now.
They don't need any help.
And yeah, I don't think Trump administration wants to add, take away any of that screwing.
No. And plus, either Jesse Smollett knew who to talk to, or he knew who to get inappropriate with, if you know what I mean.
Metric just put on here mail fraud. He sent himself a fake threatening package in the mail. That's a felony. Yeah, but
and that's federal.
Going to try to prosecute.
Yeah, he's using the mailbox. Jeez.
Yeah.
I'll tell you who you don't screw with: postal inspectors. Them and the IRS.
Yep. You know what's funny? But not funny. It's just amazing how much trouble you can get into without leaving your house.
Yes, as some hackers have found.
Thank you, Internet. You could be in so much trouble without ever leaving your house, and then you get that knock at the door. What are you doing? He couldn't have done it. He never left the house all day. Ma'am, step aside.
Yeah, that's not a fun interaction because then they make you leave your house.
You know what really? You know what? I'm gonna use a Peter Griffin term. You know what really grinds my gears? all of these people that want to be hackers and want to try to be hackers like how it is in the movies and hack into stuff. And when it's time to get arrested, they want to be normal citizens. That's what really grinds my gears.
Hey,
back to me, Bob.
I got 4 keyboards.
Are hackers not normal citizens?
I'm using all of them simultaneously. That's not how you hack.
Listen, hackers we are no. You know what?
Maybe not normal, but are hackers not citizens?
We are citizens. We're just
yeah.
We're not normal. We know everybody knows this. None of us sitting on this cast are normal. None of us that are in this industry are normal. There's nobody normal. Think about it. I guess. Oh, well, you know what? Let's see what defines normal. I definitely wouldn't be a part of the normal culture. I wake up happy every day.
Yeah. Yes. See.
So I wouldn't be defined as normal.
Than we are.
What? They probably think I'm on drugs. Yeah. So I'm just saying, if it's for normal society, and I'm so glad I'm not a little kid in this day and age, and with my energetic level, they probably put me on medicine.
Yeah, so Charles, we heard you were randomly drug tested last week and the week before and the week before that. Were you randomly drug tested this week yet?
No, I was not ever randomly drug tested. Sorry. I just have a natural obsession with life and the people in it. And telling people I love them every day who I've never met is an awesome thing.
There you go.
And
Charles is happy.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I generally have a genuine love for people in general. I don't care what their status is or whatever else. I just enjoy people.
I'm a student loan collector. Actually, I subsidize student loans, and I've been trying to contact you for quite a while about your student loan payments.
Sorry, sir. I have auto pay. I have auto pay. But it was great that you called me. So how are you doing today? How's your weekend?
No, I need your money.
No, I understand you need my money, but you're already getting my money. But I just want to know how you're doing. Can I have
I
some of
need
your
more of
money?
your money, Charles. Come on.
Well, I understand that, and we all have money issues.
Your interest rate is getting ready to increase. I
Well, you know
want
what?
to lower your interest rate.
Well, you know what? That's great, and I'm glad you're trying to help me in that way. But at this time, I just choose to accept the other option.
Well, Charles, if you can't help me, I can't help you.
Well, I still love you, though.
I don't like you anymore, Charles.
I didn't say anything about like I said love. You should. It's just love.
No, Charles.
Why?
No, give me the money.
No, you already have the money. You just want more, and all because I said no.
No,
Just
the other company has your money. I want to get your money.
Oh, by the way,
Go ahead.
not to bring us back on topic or anything, but I would really like to get down to this Article 13 bit.
Okay, let's get on to it. Let's get on it.
Okay. So, Darren, did you add this one on here? Next sextortation emails pretending to be CIA or
Yeah, so it's been covered before. They've been covering, the general TLDR of it is, we installed malware. We watched a webcam. We saw you, watching porno and jerking off, and pay us or we'll release it.
Yes.
Now this one pretends to be coming from the CIA, and for those who don't know what the CIA is, it's basically America's spying branch. It's our spying arm of the government, and
They're the American James Bond.
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Except less snazzy. Yeah.
More dagger and close, right?
Yeah.
And so they claim that you're part of a child pornography ring, and they're going to bust you for it unless you're willing to, hey, I'm amenable to making sure your name is on the list, so pay me for it. And in most countries, child pornography is a pretty big crime. At least most civilized countries, I would say.
And then once you get into prison, it's even bigger.
Oh yeah, most, well, at least in America, prisoners do not like child abusers very much at all.
And they usually rip into the people, literally.
Oh, yeah. Usually they're put in solitary because they're going to get killed.
Yeah.
So
you get a protective custody.
Yeah, you get protective custody. You get solitary. That's how you survive if you're a pederast.
Or as they call it, and I saw this on the jail session. They call it Punk City.
Yeah, PC, protective custody. I was a correctional officer. That's how it is. It's going to be you and a bunch of former cops and rats.
Yep.
Jeez. So, question. So you were a former correctional officer. So I know you see some wild stuff.
Yeah, I worked in a max too.
Oh my God. You know what?
That's shit.
Hey, I don't have a flag, but I just have to throw that.
He doesn't have flag, but he's got lotion.
Yeah, I got. Oh my God! Look, my friend from high school, right? He logs on to Twitter, and he calls me. He says, "Dude, what the hell are you doing with the lotion?" I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "You know damn well what I'm talking about. I saw the video, man. I saw the video."
Hey,
man.
Not only
the video where lotion was lowered in a basket.
the lotion is here to unite.
I said, that was crazy. I looked at that video. I said, oh,
bringing relationships back together.
I love it. But yeah, man, I commend you. I commend you for doing it. How many years did you do it?
Dude, I didn't last year, and I'll tell you why. Because if you last more than a year doing that,
yeah,
you got some issues you're going to be dealing with because you're in prison too.
Yeah,
you're in prison 12 hours a day, 8 or 12 hours a day. Yeah. They're there 24 hours a day. It's their house, and really the only difference between you and them is they're spending maybe 50% more. Yeah, you're a guest in their house. You're in prison too. That it wasn't healthy.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah. So he said if you last for a year, you got issues. Oh man.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Like, well, I mean, I worked a mental health pod in a max, so it was even crazier. So.
Oh. Hey, can we give him a Geek Cast award or something? Like, yeah, that trumps everything. I'm sorry. Like, I seen these jail specials. I seen this stuff that they be talking about, and you actually see it every day. Oh, saw it every day. Oh my goodness gracious!
Yeah, no, I figured I had other things to do with my life.
Yeah,
yeah, man.
I assume you saw your fair share of booty warriors, huh?
Oh yeah, I wasn't. Hey, you're talking about. I know who you're talking about too. That's Fleece Johnson. He's from Kentucky, but no, I was a CO in Ohio. So
well, I mean, he's legendary because of the interview. So
is that the one with the pancakes on the booty?
Well, he loves everything booty. If it involves booty, Fleece loves it.
I think I missed some stuff there. I don't know.
Adrian heard booty and started running back.
I've been watching a lot of like police stops and other shit, and I learned the term prison wallet.
Oh yeah,
prison purse. Yeah.
Also, piece the stash.
Right?
What the heck is prison purse?
Piece the stash.
That's your butthole.
Your butthole.
Oh, never mind. See, that's why I can't be going to jail. This is why I don't know what's going on. They be saying cold words around me, and I'm a sitting duck.
I put a link to the Booty Warrior on the side there, so if y'all want to watch it, you can. But
no, that's okay. I take your word for it.
It's highly entertaining.
It is. It's very entertaining.
He's a warrior.
Oz made me nervous.
Nice.
I told these guys on the cast one time, I said, look, y'all, they ain't got to worry about me. The judge tell me one day in prison, I'm crying. I don't care. Nobody say, that's a long 24 hours.
Well, that's the problem, and that's the other reason I got out of it too. Is you can have a kid, you can have a kid, not by a kid I mean 18 years old, make a mistake, and a pretty heavy mistake, and next thing you know, he's a convicted felon, and he's doing state time instead of local time.
Yeah.
You end up having to click up, with gangs, depending on where you go, and you normally come out worse than you went in.
Yep. Yeah. And then if you don't click up the gangs, then you're in trouble. You're on your own.
Yeah, there's a I stumbled across called, I think, After Prison Show, and it talks about various things about life inside and life outside, and it was showing stuff about how they improvise various weapons inside.
Oh yeah,
all the shanks.
One of the craziest things I saw for shanks, and they didn't even have to manufacture it out in our yard. Strangely, there was these rocks that were almost like obsidian that would wash up after a rain. And they were razor sharp coming right out of the ground. They just grabbed those.
Chill.
Yeah,
you didn't have to sharpen that or anything. They were ready to rock.
Yeah. I'd asphalt that yard or concrete it up.
Well, now the thing they have to worry about is drones dropping in things on yards.
Oh, yeah.
I never thought about doing that. That's one. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a great idea.
No, I mean, so
think about it now.
There's a big legal issue around it because with the FAA, taking down a drone, technically, in the eyes of the law, is no different than taking down an airliner. So even correctional facilities cannot down drones.
Are correctional facilities protected like airports are, like for airspace?
Not
technically, no, not in the same manner. I mean,
exception for law there. If that was the FAA,
What?
Yeah.
prison guards snipe out drones if they really need to.
So when someone shoots down a drone from their property, they're shooting down an aircraft with a shotgun.
If it's over 200 foot, it's in controlled airspace. If it's under 200 foot, it's in your property line. So at that point, it's like shooting down a person. At that point,
shooting down a flying person with propeller. I mean, a propellered person, yes.
Pretty much, yeah.
Without the need to go to jail, without the need for manslaughter proceedings.
Yeah, because well, I mean, you can face other charges too, because it's technically not a lawful use of force unless it's like coming at you or trying to hurt you or they're trying to do something to injure you or damage your property. But if it's not stopping a felony or any of the applicable uses of force.
Well, there's a good example of case law that actually happened in. Are you ready, Adrian? Louisville, Kentucky, right outside of Louisville.
Cool.
There was a gentleman who took one down with some birdshot, And he initially was arrested, but the charges were later dismissed. And then the owner of the drone filed a civil suit, and eventually that was tossed too. So, I mean, even though you technically can't just blow one out of the air, depending on the actual situation, whether or not a prosecutor is going to bring a case, I mean, they're going to use discretion, obviously.
Could you like fire a paintball gun at it, or somehow just put a bunch of paint on it to block the lens?
This is the way the FAA views this: is you're creating a danger to other people. What if they can no longer control the aircraft and it falls and hits a child or something?
And technically, that can be construed as damage of property. So that could be like vandalism or similar. So depending upon if it's permanent at all.
If you're a farmer on a shit ton of acreage, and I could definitely see that being justified and a court not trying to, or a prosecutor not trying to go ahead and try that.
Raul, I gotta ask, where the hell is your avatar from? It's weird.
That is from a band, Ghost BC. Now I think it's Ghost. There was a copyright dispute over the movie Ghost.
Wait, like Patrick Swayze?
Yeah. Believe it or not, they actually raised a copyright and trademark issue with the name of the band, so they were called Ghost BC for a while.
Wow. Cool. Thanks. I was just curious.
No, they're pretty good. At first, I thought it was kind of gimmicky, but they wore on me.
Nice.
All right, let's go to B on other stuff. Dark web trend targeting children information.
Yeah, so I mentioned this before the cast, but kind of the TLDR here is if you've got a child, freeze their credit report, because this is we're seeing a trend of this now where they're targeting minors. Your kid's got a social security number, so they can use that to get lines of credit, things like that too. And of course that gets linked back to them. So if they turn 18, they want to apply for a loan of some kind. Nope, you got bad credit. Sorry, can't do it. Instead of having no credit. So.
Yeah. To add to that, if you have a young child who dies, make sure the Social Security Administration knows they're dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And still freeze their credit no matter what, because it's free now. As of September of last year, it's free. Even before that, it was like at most $10.
Yeah,
I think 15. Well, some states were like 15 to freeze per agency. So you spend $60 because you freeze that at the big three plus a Novus, and that's good for life. And basically until you say unfreeze it. So, and with that freeze in place, they can't open lines of credit. Anytime you try and query it, you get denied. So, and no good lender is going to offer you credit without checking that first. If they are, they're pretty much taking all the risk, which is a really dumb thing to do.
That's right. Okay, next up, password cracking via Amazon GPU simplified. I threw a GitHub link onto the notes. If you do not crack passwords and hashes, all the time, you just need to do it every once in a while. The GitHub here will allow you to install it locally, have your Amazon account set up, or Amazon. I don't know. What's their EC2, I think, for GPU stuff?
No, well, I can't remember if EC2 covers a GPU or not. But yeah, EC2 is a cloud computing instance, which may also cover GPU.
But one of them, and the GitHub goes into it. But whichever one it is that does the GPU, essentially renting space to be able to just utilize video cards on Amazon's platform, it's, fairly inexpensive compared to setting up an actual rig that can effectively do stuff for a long term. You're looking, if you're gonna do like what are they, 1080 Ti's? They're over $1,000 a pop. 4 of those going to cost $4,000, $5,000.
Assuming that you're using it for a short period of time. If you're using it for a long period of time, it may cost more.
Yeah.
Because Amazon charges per hour of use.
Exactly. So, but too, it's not like a huge amount per hour. So you could do probably days worth of cracking
Yeah.
At very minimum for the amount it would cost you to get into an actual hacking rig.
Yeah, but be
Correct.
aware the rates are variable based upon what you do. Like if you get like a using the EC2 instance, if you get like a little micro rig, you're looking at 4 cents an hour, if that. If you get one of the big, lots of CPU, lots of memory, lots of storage machines, you're looking at dollars per hour. So
yeah, but with this too, though, I mean, you could get next to nothing for storage, next to nothing for anything, and just goes almost near straight GPU.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's a nice interface. You can set it up on your own system, tie it in with your Amazon account, not Amazon account, but you know what I'm saying, and be able to crack hashes just off of Amazon's GPUs without. I mean, because I've done this in the past, and the setup for some of the existing stuff was very, very painful.
Yeah.
And this one is not painful. So, yeah. Let's see. Next up, Adrian would love to talk about this. It's official, and this is just how I named it. Those horrible memes are now banned in Europe.
Yeah, I'm thinking Liz knows more about than I do. I heard. But basically what I heard was they're stricken copyright more and more. And so instead of being like common carriers, YouTube has to police copyright really stringently, which is going to make it really hard, and other sites as well. But I've also heard they put exemption for some types of memes. I don't know all the details. Liz, what do you got?
So I don't have all the information, but what I do know, a few things. One, there are a few exemptions. Things like GitHub is exempted. For example, Wikipedia is exempted. Not specifically those websites, but policy language, which pretty much targets those websites and similar such things. But what's not exempted are things such as YouTube or anything even vaguely like YouTube. Or anything, or even that text-based submission platform.
So if we post memes on here and it goes through on YouTube, like, we'll be banned.
I don't know.
Or restricted.
Maybe. I doubt it. So the process, from my understanding, is that the European Council has a chance. No one actually expects them to vote down this proposal. The European Council, from my understanding, has a chance to stop the whole thing. It's the last single point of failure for the whole proposal.
Yeah.
But yeah, there is little to no expected chance for that to happen. So after that, from my understanding, there is a 2-year process. All the member states have 2 years to find ways to implement the law within their own jurisdictions. I imagine some jurisdictions will implement it more draconianly than others, but for platforms that operate across all of them, they're going to do their best to find the common set of rules that works for everyone, because operating within dozens of different rule sets, as any business that works across multiple states and multiple laws will tell you, is expensive. So yeah, it's gonna suck. There is a degree of fear that multinational platforms like YouTube and Facebook will change their policies that will adversely impact their American users in an attempt to make their services cheaper to run across all jurisdictions. Then again, that's a fear. No one knows how this is actually going to proceed at this point. We all just know it's going to be bad. Very, very bad. But there's also, I'm sure as many of you are starting to see, European users are talking about, okay, VPN. Nothing.
Proxy. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's going to be the big thing for a lot of internet users. Yeah. But for the foreseeable future, that's really going to suck for European users or any multinational company that wants to operate in the EU that involves user-generated content.
Now, did they specify kind of public WAN-facing social media, or for policy, or did this also include, say, something like Slack that could be internal company facing only?
If it's not publicly facing, I don't quite know how it would be enforceable.
Well, I mean, Slack could restrict stuff. They're not necessarily going to know if a member is internal versus.
So a few things I've heard, not specific to that, but yes, they could restrict it, but would they? I doubt it. Possible, but I doubt it.
Yep.
So one of the big complaints about Article 13 was that the law states no filter is mandated, but they described a situation in which filters would be the exclusive option to solve the problem, or even attempt to solve the problem. And like one of the key players in the EU, from my understanding, aside from Axel Voss, I hope he loses his next election, is France. They convinced Germany to vote for Article 13, and their representatives are being they kept claiming in their run up to this, no filter is needed, no filter is needed. Today, they're now advertising a filter that a company marketed to them, saying, this company says this will work and to be compliant with Article 13. See, all of you are whining for nothing.
Yeah, have fun with that integration.
Yep.
I can kind of understand why some of the people voted for Brexit.
So, yes, but another one of these concerns in general, and because Article 13 passed, and now there is going to be a large region of the world where this shitty policy is going to be implemented, other people around the world, including those in the UK and those in the US, undoubtedly, will point to the EU saying, they're doing it. We need to harmonize our laws and regulations with our trading partners.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe, but
that's the word they literally use is harmonize. It's the shit-faced word.
Yeah, but if it didn't happen with GDPR, it's not going to happen with other stuff.
So lawmakers around the U.S. are frequently citing the GDPR as an inspiration for the laws they want to implement, or as a reference to how they are trying to craft laws.
I would say that's probably more party line, though.
Whose party? Because Republicans don't like Silicon Valley either.
Yeah, but GDPR is it is for the people, but it's more infringement on business.
Yeah, and I have heard that Google and Microsoft. So on that whole thing, I've heard a little bit about the lobbying of Washington State's law on facial recognition privacy.
Yeah,
Microsoft and friends are saying that are lobbying to make sure the law has dozens and upon dozens of loopholes that will allow them to keep facial recognition information forever from everyone that they gather information from. Where the civil liberties people are saying that there should be a ironclad way for people to opt out or otherwise have their information deleted from companies.
Well, if that's the case, then they should be able to do it from the government too.
Oh shit! Looks like AOC. I was going to mention AOC in the mentioning of banning semi-auto weapons,
Yeah.
and after New Zealand, and I can't. Apparently, she deleted the damn message because she said something about getting rid of semi-autos, and that's pretty much all modern. That's almost all modern gun.
Yeah, after the Christchurch stuff. Yeah,
So
she said that.
I don't know why. AOC is just a media darling. If you look as far as representation in Congress, her influence is a flash in the pan. Just as many, like this new wave of lawmakers.
Like
you got progressives. You also have former CIA agents.
Yeah, the young Tooks seem to love her, though. And I'm like, she's an embarrassment to your side. Come on.
Yes.
Yeah, her Green New Deal thing didn't go over very well today.
So yes, she's an embarrassment. Republicans think she's an embarrassment among Democrats. Democrats kind of buried, like they don't even talk about the Green New Deal much anymore. So it's kind of like, okay,
vote for it.
What?
And then also got all pissed off in the Senate because what was it? Mitch McConnell said, "All right, let's have a vote on it," and he said, "Oh, this is a publicity stunt that you're having a vote on it. You proposed it. What the fuck do you want?"
Yeah.
They couldn't get the Democrats to vote for it.
Yeah, they just reported as present.
I think a few did vote against it. I think a few did, but
Senator Manchin from West Virginia voted against the New Deal despite being a Democrat.
Did you see that guy? I can't remember his damn name, Mike Lee, who did that whole shitload posting of Ronald Reagan on a Velociraptor.
Yes, I'm throwing that on the show notes right now.
I saw that picture, and I have to say, more Raptors in Congress can only be more radical.
Yeah.
I'm not a Republican, but I approve.
Technically, though, I think he's a senator from Utah. Technically, he should have called it a Utah Raptor because based on its size, it's probably a Utah Raptor. See, here's the thing: the movie Jurassic Park fucked that up. They put a Velociraptor.
There's a fire alarm going off the 92 exit. Apparently,
who's doing that?
Oh Lord!
Yeah.
Velociraptors are actually much smaller than they show in the movie, but Utah Raptors might be the size. And since he's a senator from Utah, he should have said Utah Raptor. Anyway, continue.
No, so, but yeah, the wrap up the facial recognition thing. I don't know. I'm pessimistic. I assume, like in many of these kind of stories, that the people who advocate the least civil liberties friendly thing, while calling it civil liberties, will win. Meaning, Microsoft's new wonderful privacy law that benefits everyone. The American citizens will love it. It's the greatest. Will be the shittiest one for them. I fully expect that. I dread it, and I fully expect that to become law in Washington State. Even though I don't live there, it's kind of like every single instance of a shitty law getting passed in a state, just every single precedent is a bad one. But yeah. So to wrap up the Article 13 thing, 2 years. My understanding is, like I said, 2 years for member states to find some way to implement it. So there's not going to be any meme Holocaust immediately for the Europeans. As far as there actually being a meme Holocaust, I have absolutely no idea how the enforcement of that thing would be, because I don't know. Maybe /r/dank memes will start including a license to say everything here is allowed for full reuse by everyone. Then the question is, will the makers of SpongeBob's also give their release for r/dank memes to give that kind of release? Because let's face it, memes take bits and pieces from a bunch of places. And yeah, that's just going to be confusing. I don't see that really working well.
It seems more of a shoot first, ask questions later, because I was reading some of them. They said, oh, it'll allow fair use and everything, but it's almost like you're going to have to invoke fair use after the fact.
So fair use is a legal defense, or fair dealings, or whatever the hell they call it in Europe. But my understanding is that the liability is on the platform here, So the platform is not going to be. It's not going to have no platform, not even YouTube, is going to have the resources to adjudicate fair use. Most
Right.
human beings do not have are not able to adjudicate fair use. So obviously companies are going to err on the side of caution and less legal liability by taking down things that are reported. And this stuff will stay down. As in, the whole notice and stay down crap. This is going to be on a
Well, it's already a problem. This is just going to make it much worse.
yeah, oh yeah. The Internet Architecture Civil Liberties people are stating that this is the attempt by Hollywood to try to turn internet in the EU to become more like television, where only a few big content producers are able to freely release their stuff out to the public, and every other player be damned.
Oh yeah, not everyone has, high-powered attorneys on staff ready to go.
To make sure every single reference of everything you do is completely, fully licensed. And every single part of it is licensed, because my understanding is freaking music, of all things, is a goddamn nightmare for licensing. At least in the US. I actually have no idea how it is overseas. It's going to be a shit show. And yeah. But anyways, we have a little bit of time before the shit show actually starts. And there's still the last chance. Who knows? Maybe the European Council will surprise everyone and vote to stop it in its tracks. Hope springs eternal.
I'm back. I'm alive.
All right. Yeah, I got nothing else really to say on Article 13. Unless you want to talk about Article 11 briefly. The text snippet tax, which most people call the Google News tax, where if you include a summary of text from an article, you got to pay the site that you got the summary of text from.
What if the site doesn't care?
So I imagine I have not read Article 11 word for word, so I do not know. Similar such proposals in the past have opted for a it doesn't matter if the copyright holder doesn't care situation. Others have gone for what you said, where anyways, I don't know. I don't think it's going to matter. I think they're going to go
either way.
It's good. They're Google or any kind of similar site is just going to go with whatever gets them the least amount of liability. So it may not matter if a given site doesn't care if enough sites of high paid lawyers do.
I mean, in the most technical sense, would retweeting somebody constitute? I mean,
I have seen a lawyer claim that. I have no idea if that is true or not. My completely non-lawyer guess would be you accepted Twitter's terms of service, which presumably would allow for such a thing. But I don't know.
Well, or embedding a tweet, on a blog or something.
I have heard a bit more. I've heard more lawyer consternation about.
Yeah, I could see that because the Twitter terms of service wouldn't be as binding on that.
So, but yeah, it's going to be a very shitty situation for all to the very select few people who need to die already of old age, which, who knows, maybe the next decade they will.
That's right. Next on here, I threw it on here real quick just because I saw the news, I think yesterday. Microsoft takes over. They had court order authorization, and worked with I don't remember which organization to take over. I think it was close to 100 APT-35 websites. APT is one of the hacking groups out of Iran, and so they took over all those websites so they can shut down that traffic. All they'll do is just, I mean, they're tech guys, APT-35. So hopefully they have backups and they'll probably rebuild fairly quickly. They won't have as good of an infrastructure as they did. And it'll take them some time to rebuild, but they will, I'm sure, eventually be back in full operation. And then Mike, what's his name? Mike Lee, that Adrian was referring to.
Mike Lee.
Yeah, Mike Lee.
Right now. I'm informing him that the animal Reagan was riding on is probably closer to a Utah raptor. But anyway, continue.
Yeah. So I posted the YouTube video of him speaking in front of Congress. I don't post hardly any political stuff on Facebook or Twitter, but this one I actually did post to Facebook. It was just that good. So if you haven't seen it, it's worth, I think it's about 6-7 minutes, somewhere in there. It's definitely worth the watch. You'll enjoy it and be entertained. And I don't care if you're right-leaning or left-leaning,
It's funny.
He references Star Wars and Aquaman. So
yeah, I'm like Crenshaw Lee 2024 now.
Yeah, I saw that. That's quality. Also, one other thing, didn't make show notes. Stormy Daniels' lawyer, prosecutors, looks like they're going after him for tax evasion. I think it is. So he'll potentially do some jail time.
And extortion.
Oh, was it extortion too?
Yeah, extortion, because he allegedly had information about Nike, and he said him and another attorney, which has not been indicted yet, said, well, you need to hire us on as essentially like consultants to investigate this and take care of it, because it's better if you self-report doing this. It involved kickbacks and paying high school athletes. Essentially,
so did this come out of the whole like celebrity getting their kids into college thing?
No, but they actually executed the arrest warrant right after he made a tweet saying, there's going to be an expose on Nike. Essentially, he told Nike he had dirt on them and they needed to hire him. The actual quotes from the indictments, they had Nike's attorneys, once he approached them, contacted the FBI immediately and said, hey, this guy's trying to extort us. So all the meetings were recorded, video and audio. And at one point, Avenatti even said something like, do you know what it's like to have a client by the balls to where they have to do what you say or pay you millions of dollars, something to that effect.
Yeah.
And so he's facing 2 charges. One is on the East Coast, one's on the West Coast. I believe the West Coast one has to do with tax evasion, because he actually lied about certain finances that he had while applying for a loan, and misreporting taxes and wire fraud, because he lied about how much money he made in order to secure a loan. And then the one on the East Coast has to do with extorting Nike.
Nice.
Yeah, so he's getting it from both ends, both figuratively and quite possibly in the future, literally.
Exactly. If anybody was wondering, oh, look, good. No more.
Your strobe went off. I noticed it was still going despite you.
It went off. Good. They probably had the fire department come. But what apparently happened was some lady's light bulb burst in her hotel room, and it set off her smoke detector, which in turn set off everything. So, yep. Good times.
Yeah. I'm looking at it here. He attempted to extort more than $20 million from Nike.
20 million. I mean, most people make that in a week. What a moron.
Yeah, and he threatened that the story, then I remember a little bit more now that I'm reading the article. In order to affect the extortion, he said, when the news comes out, it's going to lower your stock value. So, and I'll quote here, I'll go and take $10 billion off your client's market cap. I'm not fucking around.
I'm sure he wasn't.
Yeah, well,
And
the
definitely is.
FBI is no longer fucking around either.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's some good old quality extortion right there.
Yeah, it's like if you wanted to look at the Department of Justice's prosecution manual and you wanted a example of a good extortion case, this would probably be in it.
Yeah, this is going to be picture perfect. I love it. And to just on the political side, we did not talk anything yet about if we want to talk about it, about Mueller.
I don't know. It's people are saying, well, the whole report hasn't been released yet, so we don't know. We don't know. But they said there's going to be no more indictments, and they haven't found collusion. So, I mean, yeah, we can see the whole report before and throw it out there. As I tweeted to Elizabeth Warren, she wanted the whole report released. I was like, I'm okay with that, but would you be okay with releasing 1/64 to 1,024th of it? But I'm an asshole.
I mean, but that's the thing, though. Until it is signed off on, there could be potential pieces of what do they refer to it as? National
information harmful to national security.
Yeah, information harmful to national security, and I don't want that public. The data needs to be redacted if it is.
Yeah,
and yeah, they can definitely, like, who gives a shit if they see it then? But you follow the appropriate process. I don't give a crap if you want in 2 days. Like, the process is going to be done, and then you can see it. So fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how it pans out.
Yeah, especially because there's from what I've been seeing, reading, hearing, a lot of stuff that the Trump administration was not pursuing yet until the Mueller report was complete. And now that it's complete, they're going to start pursuing, such as the dossier.
Right. Yeah, and a lot of people was talking about, well, release all the information you have regarding that. And I'm just like, you know what? For the sake of transparency, release all of it that you can. That's not going to harm anything.
Yeah.
Because everything, both sides. I don't give a crap.
It was fake, and it was thrown out there by what was the former FBI director's name?
Comey.
Yeah. And so we could end up seeing charges come over that. And if I remember correctly, I thought it was the Clintons' lawyer who was financially part of the creation of it. I may be wrong, but that's what I thought. So that one could get interesting. Fun times.
We're definitely in a new era.
Yeah. Oh, and just a thought I just had. Anybody, make sure whenever you are staying in a hotel, that you're aware of the things you need to keep with you in case something like that does happen, but it was real. The fire alarm goes off if the hotel is burning down. Still make sure you're aware of things. If it's chilly outside, grab your coat on the way out. I am a concealed carry. For me, that is a definite. I had it within arm's reach. A vape, obviously. Got to have that. Wallet, but know where your essentials are. And so you can grab them quickly and get out if you need to.
Well, and also, we're talking about national security and information security. You never know if somebody's targeting you. Pull the fire alarm. Watch you leave your room. Is your door still closing? They could walk in and grab other things. Yeah. Proprietary information for your company or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, granted, I lock the computer, but if somebody really wants to get into it, they could. But yeah.
Well, it all depends on what you have and how really valuable it is. I mean, obviously, but
yeah, if you guys want to be able to throw a demo environment up like that, you'd be good to go. Yeah, all my actual hacking stuff is on another system. So I have a secondary VM on here that I use, for minimal things, but my actual system is not this one.
Yeah, I need to build up a new test lab for shit to train myself on some things. And there's also that hack in the box. Or what is the one?
Hack in the box.eu is good. You mean for like downloading your own VMs?
Just practicing and getting up to date on some new tools, because sometimes some new tools come out and I'm not aware of them.
Yeah. Yep. Get current, stay current. And two, if you are not a pen tester, it is difficult to stay current. You have to dedicate your own time to try to stay current. So like if you want to stay knowledgeable on the red teaming side at all, like you have to put your own individual time in off company hours to do it. Like your future is in your hands. It's not necessarily company's responsibility, especially if you are not red team. It's your responsibility to get up there, get current, and to better yourself for whatever you want to do in the future.
Cool. Do I have anything else new for the other stuff section of the podcast?
I do not believe so, unless anybody else does.
We're sitting at 2 hours and 1 minute. I think that's pretty good for what most people will be willing to listen to. We can leave the chat going afterwards, but
cool.
Finishing the stream.
Yes.
Anybody else have anything to say?
Purple.
Not I.
Not I.
All right, guys on the stream, hang out, and guys on the chat who are actually participants, we're gonna hang out, and everybody else, you all have a good week, and we'll catch you next Wednesday.
See you next Wednesday. Have fun.